Hi everybody, how's it going? I just need to, sorry, give me one sec. Sorry, I need to. Okay. Hi there. Sorry. I think it's this one, hopefully. Hello. Okay, I think, let's see. There you are. Okay, hopefully this works a little bit better now. I was very unprepared for this. Let's see here. I have to move this around while I show. Hmm. Okay, sorry. That took a while for me to get going. I just want to make sure that sound mute. Okay, I think I have this, but we'll see how this goes. All right, guys. Well, again, hi. My name is Eric Orega, and welcome to my stream. I don't do this very often. I've been planning to do more, but sadly, um, uh, I'm doing this. But it is to honor someone extremely important to me, and I felt that I should at least be able to explain why and talk about him, which is the amazing Sam Kieth. Bring this more into view. Um, there you go. You can see, there you go, the max right here. And I just wanted to talk about him and explain why he's so important to me and just the overall inspiration he's had just on the comic community. And yeah, so I was introduced to Sam Kieth very, very early in my life. I would say about 10 or 11. Excuse me. Uh, as you can see here, like I can show you, I'm even wearing it's the cover over here, the Max. Um, I was introduced to Sam Keith very early, I'd say about 10 or 11. When I was first getting into comic books, it was in the early 90s, late 80s. I had late 80s, I was just starting to see how, like, the artwork and everybody that was in that time period, just, their art was just very crazy, a lot of experimenting with styles and stuff like that. And one of the big artists that caught my eye and pretty much was the reason I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a comic book artist. Was funny enough was Will Spertasio. Everyone was, and a big fan of Jim Lee when he was doing X-Men and things like that. And then everyone was also Todd McFarlane and all the other guys. But I was very much a very huge Will Spertasio fan at the time. I just found his style more unique. He was not quite a Jim Lee type guy, but his anatomy and everything was still very bold and experimental and things like that. And so I was just a very big fan of Wes Portacio during that time. And my brother, he was the comic book collector. I was just the one admiring the books and the artwork and things like that. And I had happened to go through his comic books and just looking through stuff. And immediately, I had stopped in one of his books in his collections and pulled out an image of what I can only understand to be Wolverine. And that was a Sam Keith cover of Marvel Comics Presents. And I remember just looking at that cover, um, and my 10, 11-year-old mind just trying to understand what I was looking at. I just, I couldn't. I would just like, wow, what is this that I am looking at, um, and how, and that was the beginning. That was just the very beginning of my love for Sam Keith. Um, I just, just taking on more and more issues of how he was interpreting um, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Werewolf, come down the road to, with the Nightmare and Venom and things like that. It was just insane. It was just beyond anything I could grasp visually, and his storytelling through his panels were just were just amazing. Was just incredible, and I really just couldn't, get that, out of my head. It's like, how is this artist doing this? Um, and that's where I really learned style. That's where style really was the coffin, I'm sorry, the nail in the coffin. Just like, okay, style and interpretation and things like that. Um, so from there on, I was just hooked. I was just, hooked with his style, and I just couldn't believe it. So, as time went on and he was doing Marvel Comics Presents, all the other guys were kind of leaving Marvel and heading over to Image. And thankfully, Jim Lee asked Sam Keith, "Hey, do you want to join us over here? You have, full creativity and full rights of anything you want to do." So, um, Sam Keith agreed in a certain terms, but that's a whole other story. But and he agreed and went over to Image, and that's where he brought his own character right over here, the Max. Um, and still, I say this to people at conventions all the time, and just talk about him a lot. In that, the Max, many people grew up with him and became aware of him during the 90s with MTV Oddities, and that's where they interpreted the book into animation form, which was just amazingly beautiful. Was probably one of the best adaptations I've ever seen in my life. Um, and yeah, that's where everyone began to know him. They didn't know it was a book to begin with. They just saw the cartoon and just thought this was wild. And then people come to learn that it was based off of a comic book. So so yeah, and that's where the Max, one of the most original characters still to this day. And I say this to so many people a lot. I get a lot with my art style. I get a lot of people saying, "Wow, you have a very strong Todd McFarlane." I could see Sam Keith in there, and every time I hear those two names, brings massive joy, especially when people can say Sam Keith, because as popular as he was extremely, extremely popular. I think much more in the art community and not as much as the comic book and collector community. I mean, he still had an amazingly popular name, but I think his name and overall recognition is stronger by us artists because of the style that he brought. So, but yeah, so that's I greatly appreciate when fans come up and say, hey, wow, this has a very Sam Keithish, or not even, they don't even, sometimes they say, it reminds me of this style in the 90s. It's really weird. It was like Sam Keith, the Max. He goes, yeah, that. And, I take that amazingly um, as a great compliment. It's an amazing compliment to me. Um, Let me see. So I want to show you. This is the oversized book, the black and white. It's like they took the originals and printed them at actual size, so you can see all the details and everything. It's not this. That's not the same size as a regular comic book. One sec. Sorry. I can show you. This is a comic book right here, and this is the normal size comic, and then this is the size of the artist edition. So you can see the size change there. Let me see. I'm going to experiment here. So let me see if I can. How can't I? I don't know how to do the solo. Let's see. No, that's the. Okay, move name. I don't know how to do the solo of the book. I apologize. I'm not sure how it. Again, I'm very new to all this stuff, so I wasn't prepared. Uh, so bear with me here. Um, that's me, and we don't want me. We want the book. Okay, we're just gonna have to do a double. I apologize, and so let's see, get this thing more extended up because it's pretty big. So yeah, so we can see here the max right there. How's it going for everyone who's entering the studio? Thank you. So I can show you here Julie and Max right here. Beautiful. This looks amazing. Right there. There's the Max right there. There he is. Full. Amazingly beautiful. We'll get more into his details and everything as we go on because there's better pages that show many things he was known for. Um, he had these line values, and I mean they're like the feathering and the shine. There's just so many things that he interpreted just insanely unique. I mean, it just was just way different than what anybody was doing. Um, it's just amazing. Um, these pages right here were from Darker Image. It was an anthology type book that it was Jim Lee, Sam Keith, and Rob Liefeld. They all had their own stories. This was taken from that right there. Um, his attention to detail when it came to very unique things in comic books, like just you can see here, you can see right here, just like stumps of trees, his lines when it became to like tall grass and things like that. Um, he just had this very different and unique look uh, and realism type effect when it came to those types of details. I mean, they were just incredible He loved these odd types of details right here. You get like just trinkets and like a sack of something. Um, he just knew how to really interpret those details amazingly. You know, it was just always like that. For any artists who are ever, i- if you have not come across anything Sam Keith, um, all I can say is I urge you to um, pick up as many of Marvel Comics Presents as you could possibly get. Um, I mean, the Max would also do it, but Marvel Comics Presents is probably going to be just mind blowing to you to understand what he really did with his art style, especially with Wolverine and Cyber. Cyber's on, he was really big and unique when it came to Cyber's details, especially with his metal arm. When you see, if you ever pick it up, artists, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he was just incredible when it came to things like that. Um, but you can see here, Leopard Queen. He, I mean, I'm not going to tell you the story, but here he's in the outback. But you have to read the book to even just come close to understanding. So you see here Leopard Queen, but it's interpreted by here's Julie in the real world. But I mean, just look at his style. Look at her pants. All the unique designs he would give. It's just amazing. He was just like, I mean, again, it's just incredible. The types of details he would put into these things right there. Yeah, it was just absolutely incredible. Like, just incredible. So right here, this is probably one of the better ongoing things that you would learn about Sam Keith. Is his uh, I mean, I don't think the kids would even understand this now, but um, the phone cord. Uh, how do you say, the phone cord rips in clothing. He had this like curl thing. How am I going here? He had these curls that he would do here that became very famous with his style. In one of his books, he actually makes fun of himself, and Max goes into a phone cord store um, because of the way he draws his shreds in clothing and in material. He drew these curls that were very unique and different, but they gave a lot to the character and whatever he was doing. Um, so this was just like one of his main details that he would put. Um, yeah, and it was just really cool and different. That's what made him like extremely unique. These types of details were just very original details that he would add. And this is Max number one, where we're going through here. Um, I'm not gonna take you through the entire book, guys. So don't worry. I'm not gonna bore you like that. But I just wanted to kind of give you some highlights and some idea of why this guy was such an amazing artist, and the types of things he would do. Um, his panel structures. I mean, like look at this design right here. Were just intense. They were just so amazing and different. It was like a retro 70s look, but something you would see like in an art studio, something that would be designed around you, and he made it inside the book. That was just crazy impressive of what he would do. Also, let's see if I could find a good. I think I may have passed. Wait, maybe it's here. Oh, here we go. So Here's Julie. Um, so another thing with Sam Keith, which was just so amazing with him, is his look of women. He always gave women this more realistic um, type look. He gave them all curves, very, very, very strong curves. The hips were like amazingly insane. Um, and almost to the point where it was a believable body type, even in comic books. Um, he was okay with giving girls not the perfect body, and maybe a little bit thick. Which is amazingly fine. Um, you can see right here, like how he gave her shape here, very, very thick, even through all through her legs and everything, her hips. This is something that Sam Keith was very, very big on. This comes though from Frank Frazetta style. Frank Frazetta, an amazing painter, and probably one of the most inspirational artists of all time, who gave Sam Keith's style, Simon Bisley, and many, many other painters and artists. That was a style that came through with Frank Vazetta, but Sam Keith did his own and added to it. And again, it was an amazing the way he drew his women. And again, it became one of those things of um, that it just something he was known for. He was known for those types of uh, features with girls. Julie in here, which is great, and you don't see in comic books at all. I think we'll probably get. I mean, you can see right here. Here's another girl. You can see how thick her ripped jeans with the curly cues of his details. Um, Kind of gave her a very normal, everyday girl, and not so much the comic book look of just her being having to be like, extremely sexy. He gave her style and gave her own look of what sexy was. Um, and then Mr. Gone with it, and you can see back there those details over there of her. I'm trying to find. So there is actually, and when I tell you when he kind of enjoyed the idea of the imperfections when it came to quote unquote imperfections. They're not, but um, we'll get back to this page. Let me finish my thought of the girls. He gives Julia a page of right here. This is perfect. Of her sucking in her stomach because she feels she needs to go on a diet, and then she just lets out her gut, and you could see the the stomach of an everyday normal person, female or male, but this he gave her an average body type, and kind of makes fun of it in the book. But that was cool about Sam Keith is he built off of those types of ideas and looks. You could see how she's very, even though she has very curves and she's got a very large butt here. Um, it's a realistic form, and not so much the quote unquote comic book girl that you see where she looks almost flawless and perfect. So um, you can even see here where while she's a leopard queen, she's got a little pudge here, and a little round there, and she's got very thick thighs and hips. That was just Sam Keith. That was his work, and that's what he brought was amazing to um, his books. Okay, guys. So this page, though, which is an amazing and incredible interpretation of Sam Keith's artwork. This double page spread of the Max and Mr. Gone with all the ises right here um, is probably just the most amazing double page spread I have ever seen by Sam Keith. I mean, this was an um, issue one. Uh, Look, I mean, you see Sam Keith's anatomy, the way he interpreted muscles, um, I mean, getting into here, you could see the hair. Look at like all the hair he gave him, and took time to do every single one of these little strokes of hair. Um, was is just incredible. Like, I mean, there's hundreds, and he took time to do this, like, and does it flawlessly, which is insane and amazing. Um, these really weird details of Max's arm because of the lava. Um, that is his claw and everything, but like these weird ink blots and everything going through, and then you could see the type of detail, his line work when shading and giving form to muscles. Um, I mean, look at these extremely odd little uh, line work right here. But I mean, again, this was what Sam Keith did, and he saw that in his mind, and he captures it amazing. Um, I mean, I sometimes just stare at this page for so long, trying to understand like the whole idea and format of what it took just to understand how to do this. Um, but he does it, like, it's just incredible. Like, and this is again why I've always been like just so uh, amazingly stuck on his artwork, because it's just incredible. So um, yeah, so again, I'm not gonna take you to the whole book, guys. I don't want to bore you guys like that. Um, I could really just go on forever on every single page and tell you all the things about this, um, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, but I'll just take you through some. You can see some of the pages here. Again, there's Julie. And this, it's funny because again, in this page, it's a, how would you say, a dramatization of her making fun of Mr. Gone, and trying to like understand what is actually sexy and what male fantasy is coming through, that he has her like that. And that, I think, is just super funny, because he explaining this in a comic book where, again, where women are always drawn to be perfect, and you just kind of, that's what it is. And here he's questioning it, and making fun of the person, for having to be in this situation. I think it's just brilliant. It's such a brilliant thing. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this page right here really quick. I will be right back. Give me one quick second. I'm sorry. Back. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah. So this is Sam Keith. Again, I could go on just over and over and over and over and over again about all the images. I can go through every single page of all this, and just admire the whole thing all over again, because I never get tired of viewing these pages. But I'm not gonna do that. I would just encourage you to pick up a copy of the Max if you can find, um, maybe a graphic novel version or something, or just collect the pages individually. But yeah, that's something I highly recommend, because again, he is brilliant, just 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 brilliant. Yeah. So, all right, but it's the Max right there. Um, incredible artwork. So, all right. So, what I was, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a Max tribute piece. Sorry, you're trying to get this Max tribute piece. Let me see if I can get some more light on here. Sorry if this is bright. It might be too bright, huh? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna do a Max tribute piece here. I had my. Oh, before I forget, I pulled these aside because again, I have the Max shirt, and kind of some Sam Kieth things I have. I have this awesome Wolverine Sam Kieth shirt. This is his Marvel Comics Presents stuff right there. You can see amazing there. And then Sam did a lot of just random covers, random artwork. He did a lot of that, a lot. You can kind of go on forever finding just covers that he's done, and there's just so much. Um, so here's one of them. I believe this was on a magazine. That's Venom, Deadpool, and Sabretooth. Just an incredible artwork. I'm so happy to have it on a shirt. But you can see there how awesome that is. So, yep. Yeah, this is how big of a fan I am of his. Um, I have uh, I have the Max calendar that they would put out yearly. I think I have 3 years worth of those. Um, and I have like a little shelf in the corner that's dedicated to Sam Kieth. As I was collecting statues, toys, and things like that. So yeah, so yeah, I have a lot of things dedicated to Sam. Um, Again, because he's just all time hero, amazing artist. Okay, so let me. I'm gonna do this. This kind of looks purplish. No, we'll just go with that one. Okay. So, thing about me, personally, as an artist, this isn't really related to Sam, but something about me when I do art pieces, I love doing commissions and things like that. I have these different color leads, pretty much like color pencils, but they're for these. And whenever someone gives me a character to draw, so let's just say the Max. Let's say the Max right now. I try to find, or I try to use the colored pencil closest to the color of that character. So this is kind of like a purplish pink. I think Max is more violet, but he's always got through these different colors. But I have this color right here I'm going to use, and I think that'll work for right now. So All right, so we are going to do the max right now. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so. All right. And I'm not really have anything in mind. I really am winging this art piece. I didn't have like an idea of what I should draw. I knew I was going to do the max, but I just didn't have like a real idea of pose or anything. So I really am winging this. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how much that's picking up in the actual video, but I promise I'm starting off with his head. And when it comes to when I draw, um, especially when I know I'm the inker, when I'm going to be the one putting inks, my pencils are very, very loose. I'm more like just doing it for the overall layout and just to know where things are going to be placed. But I don't do too much details when it comes to the pencil part. Again, because I'm the one inking it, so I'm not gonna. It's like if I do too many details, it's like I'm inking it twice. It's like since I know what I'm doing on my own art piece, I rather just do the the pencils loosely, and then just go full on with the inks afterwards. So I'm kind of drawing a very big, using the whole paper here. Okay. Okay. I think I have the overall what I'm gonna do. Okay, kind of give myself a quick layout there. Oops. All right, now so we're gonna move on to the inks here. Let's see here. I'm just sorting my pens here of the ones I'm gonna use mostly. Two, 1, 6. And I'm using, oops, sorry, I'm using microns to ink, just so anyone's curious. Do something fun like that. Brush. 8. Okay, this might be used. Let's see, guys. I think I might have everything I need right now. If not, I can look for it later. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna do some inking, and I use this one because I'm doing it so big. I usually start with the thinner, but because I'm doing this pretty large, I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna start with this. This is just gonna get me started on the actual outline and layout of what I'm doing. It's pretty good. Make sure you go into an 8. So I have met, in case anybody's wondering, I have met Sam Kieth a couple of times. Um, both times at San Diego Comic Con. Sam was very rare to do appearances, especially at big shows. He didn't do them very often. Um, from many people that knew him, that I know, that got to work with him and kind of and hang out with them. Um, Sam was a very, very quiet guy. Um, didn't just kept to himself and was just just an artist and didn't didn't do much from what I've been told. Again, this all secondhand. Um, so yeah, so but again, the times that I did meet him, he was a really cool guy, really nice, um, and it seemed to be the theme that everyone would say about him. He was just a very nice, sweet guy. Um, so I can confirm that he was. Said the time during the times I got to meet him. Never, and then when I did meet him, didn't say much. It was more just of a quick fan meet and um, just saying, the typical, I love your work, you're amazing, um, and yeah, that was kind of it, and uh, so yeah, that was kind of all. I wish I had gone to um, do more and actually get to interact with him and uh, talk with him, sit down and just kind of pick his brain and just learn from him. But never got to do that. So, yep. So, closer. People, when it comes to the Max, a lot of people like to draw the hard teeth on his mask. I never really liked that look. Uh, so I don't draw the hard teeth. I just kind of give the definition look. Um, that was just never my. I don't know. There was just something about the hard teeth look that it didn't connect with me. So when I do it, I kind of do it with like hints of the look of big teeth. Um, yeah, so that's the way I always like to do it. A lot of people like to make it like each tooth or something, and that's not my thing. I wasn't really a fan of that type of look. Um, so this was my way. So going really dark on his mask. On the part that would be dark on him, because he's got the cut like the violet purple on the sides, and then in the center is like a yellow gold type thing happening. So I'm going to go for a more darker version of him here. Kind of got, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll bring it up a little bit here. going on right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start now with his body. I think I'm gonna do something pretty big here. I liked when Sam, lots of times on like the outer part of the body, he would go pretty thick. He almost like outlined the character, and I liked that. I think that was so cool. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing here. I don't know what kind of brush he used on some of the stuff, but he would just do this insane thick outline of the Max, and I love that. I think that was just so cool. That was just so awesome when he did that type of stuff. It just brought the character out, and yeah, I thought that was some of the coolest stuff ever. This one. One is dying on me. This might end up being the shader at some point. All my brushes are kind of fading on me now. Yeah, same. This one. I'm trying to save the good one I have because it's one of my last. Till I have to order a whole new set. But yeah, these are kind of. So this is an acrylic marker, so the blacks should stay pretty well for quite a while. What's this one? I think I should have just used the. Oh, no. You can see the difference between these. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if I have a set two. So maybe this might. This one's going out big time. There. Let's see. What's this two? Let's try this one. This one's a little bit better. Too bad. for you with some big stuff here. Let's see this here. This up here. Oops. Let's see what I got going on here. And this into all this blacked out. Let's see if I can get to his just here. go. It's funky. It's funky claw stuff. Mm. There you go. Something. Go. What am I going on? For an hour? One. Save. Save. Wish more people were on so we can have more of a conversation. Sorry if I'm so quiet. Um, I try not to. I think I used up all my rambling, so I don't want to just keep rambling and have you guys hear my voice. So uh, there's no question nobody's here really, and no questions. So I'm kind of trying to think of something to say, but I'm trying to keep it Sam Kieth related. This is a acrylic. This is going to be. Let's see how I could do with this. I haven't used this one in so long. This isn't too bad. Get one of these. Okay. That going. Far better. see. Let's see here. I guess kind of something funny. Um, at like some stories at conventions regarding kind of Sam. I mean, it's regarding me, but it's just funny because again, I have some people say I have that style. I have that kind of that look. Every once in a while, like, oh man, you draw like Sam Keith, or you remind me of the guy from the '90s that had this weird thing. Anyway, and uh, and I've had people come to my table looking at my artwork. They're like, "Wait a minute, you didn't create the Max, did you?" And I was like, "No, that's Sam Keith." And um, again, it's an honor to have like that idea that that people have kept that in mind and see me in that type of that like I could have that type of capacity of meeting their expectations of being Sam Keith. But um, I think it was always funny when that happens. Hi to anyone who's watching. Hello. Feel free to ask questions or anything. You guys are curious about anything, please feel free to ask. Oops. Where did my pen go? Let me see. See it there. See it. I'll just do it without. Oh, I don't have one there. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, that's as quick as I can. Okay, here you go. This is the Max. My frame. There you go. Here it is. There you go. Alrighty. Well, so there you go. Yeah. I just wanted to thank you for joining me for this hour and a half. It's me just kind of doing a quick tribute to my hero, my absolute hero, Sam Kieth. Again, I urge you to look him up and just look at everything he's done in his career. And if you want a true impact of his career, go and look at Marvel Comics Presents. Just look that up, and Sam Kieth, and you'll get a whole list and a view of amazing artwork that he's done. It's just incredible. It's the most incredible pieces of artwork ever in comics. Many people would agree. So, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and dedicating some time to this legend. And yeah, and just you can look up my Instagram. It's Eric Arega Art, and or you can just go to ericarega.com and then take you on my socials, and you can look me up there. And I will be doing a lot of upcoming shows. I just did Emerald City, and I just got back for Orlando MegaCon. This weekend I'm doing WonderCon, and then the week after that I'm doing the Latino Art Festival in Modesto. So, and then I have many more coming up after that. So you can always look me up and see where I'm going to be next. So, okay. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Sam Kieth, I hope wherever your energy has gone, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you keep creating art. Thank you so much for everything you've done in your career. That's inspired not only me, but many, many, many artists throughout the years. And again, just everything you've done will always, always be in my heart. So I'm sad you're gone, but your artwork is going to be remembered for many, many years, generations to come. So again, thank you, Sam Kieth, for everything. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you very much, and take care. Have a good night.